Ever wonder what really makes a school good? What's actually happening in the classrooms? Today we're going inside PCSST Middle School. We're looking at a document they have. It's like their ideal teacher, a blueprint. So, we'll see what they prioritize, what they value. And it's not just boring rules, this is like a recipe for an amazing teacher.
I like it. So they break it down into 5 things. They call them Portrait of a PCSST Educator.
First up, data-driven. Okay, now hold on before you think spreadsheets and test scores. It's not that simple, right? Because that's everyone's worry, right? PCSST is all about using data to personalize things for each kid.
Oh, interesting. So how does that work?
Imagine the teachers tailoring the lesson right then based on who's getting it, who's not.
Wow, that's a lot of in-the-moment adjustment. They even use this platform, Ed Insight. It's not just grades, it's... What is it then?
They make these starfish intervention plans.
Okay, that sounds intense, but it's good. Say your student's struggling, right? It's like a personalized roadmap to help them catch up.
So it's not you're failing, it's here's how we get you back on track.
Yes.
Constant monitoring, adjusting, working with the kid. At PCSST, data drives decision-making. Next up, active instructors. This is where it gets fun.
Fun? How so? Middle schoolers. Fun, that's a challenge.
They want classrooms buzzing, not just kids passively listening, right? Because at that age, they got to be engaged or they're gone mentally.
Hands-on stuff, tech used in cool ways, collaboration. So instead of just talking about ecosystems...
Exactly, they'd be building one or something like that.
I get it. Make it real. Make it an experience.
They even mentioned something called a gradual release of responsibility.
Whoa, okay, that sounds a little interesting. What does that mean in a classroom?
So, picture this. The math teacher is introducing a new concept, right? Maybe they start by, direct instruction, walk everyone through it, but then gradually the students take on more responsibility. Maybe they move into small groups, practice with the teacher there to help, and then finally they're working independently, applying what they learned.
So it's about empowering them to learn on their own, not just be told stuff.
At PCSST, engagement drives instruction. PCSST's ideal teacher is also professional.
And this isn't just like showing up on time and looking presentable. It's deeper than that.
It's a commitment to always improving, always getting better for their students.
A growth mindset, right?
Exactly. And feedback is huge for this.
Oh yeah, feedback's always important.
They're encouraged to get feedback not just from the principal, but from other teachers, mentors, even students.
Wow, the students too, that's interesting.
So everyone's learning and growing together.
Precisely.
And that's what's so great about it when you have teachers who are excited about learning themselves.
It makes a difference for the kids.
Definitely. Okay, so we've got teachers who are learning, growing, using data, but then what? What's next in this teacher portrait?
It's problem solvers and it's not what you think. Oh, it's not just about putting out fires.
PCSST takes a different approach.
It's about being proactive, like heading those problems off at the pass. Okay, so anticipating things before they become an issue.
Setting clear expectations right away, routines, that kind of thing.
So the kids know what to expect, which, let's be honest, middle schoolers kind of need that.
Right. They crave that structure, even if they don't admit it.
But of course, there are always going to be surprises in every classroom.
Right. You can't plan for everything. But PCSST gives their teachers strategies for those moments.
Emphasize the positive. Focus on solutions, not just the problem.
So turning those tough moments into learning opportunities.
Yeah, I like that.
And get this, they even talk about having the students help create the classroom rules.
Oh wow, so they're involved from the get-go. Love it. It builds that sense of ownership, responsibility.
Okay, on to the last strand of a PCSST educator, and I think it's a big one.
Equitable. This is huge.
Yeah.
Especially these days. So what does that actually look like in a PCSST classroom?
It all comes down to recognizing that every student is different.
Different needs, different ways of learning, right? And you can't just teach everyone the same way and expect the same results.
Exactly. So PCSST teachers differentiate their teaching.
Maybe they present the same material in different ways, provide accommodations like extra time on a test, maybe a different kind of assignment, whatever that student needs to succeed. So they feel seen, heard, like they belong.
Yes.
And they even talk about culturally responsive teaching. basically understanding and valuing the different cultures, which in a school as diverse as PCSST is so important, right?
And it's not just about feeling comfortable. It's about having equal access to a good education no matter what. It's really cool to see how much thought goes into this. They're not just talking about equity, they're building it in from the ground up.
Absolutely. It's inspiring really seeing this vision they have.
Yeah, it makes you think, what if every school was like this? Now there's a question.
But before we go too far down that road, you mentioned something earlier, proactive problem solving?
Oh yeah, that's a big thing for PCSST.
It's not just discipline, right? Bigger than that.
Way bigger.
They even tie it into building those relationships with students.
Oh, interesting. Like noticing when a kid's having a tough time, even if they don't say anything, and then reaching out, being in tune with the whole kid, not just grades.
Exactly. Create that space where they feel safe to ask for help. That changes everything.
The teachers become more than teachers, you know?
Mentors, guides, and that's what's so cool about this whole approach. It's not just here's what good teachers do.
It's a whole different way of thinking about education.
Yeah. It's like they figured some things out.
Right?
Data, engagement, professionalism, problem solving, and equity. PCSST is setting the bar high.
They really are.
And tying it all back to that student, making sure every kid has what they need. Powerful stuff. So as we wrap up here, I gotta say it makes you wonder,
What's that?
what if this was the norm? What if every school took this approach?
Now, wouldn't that be something?
That's something to think about, isn't it?
That's the potential right there.
The possibility for every school to be that kind of place.
Exactly. Well, on that note, we'll leave everyone with that thought. Keep those brains engaged.